The 21-year-old daughter of billionaire Elon Musk, Vivian Wilson, has returned to the public eye, but not for the reasons one might anticipate. She revealed unvarnished information about her financial status in a recent interview, demonstrating that her life is far different from the glossy persona that is frequently conjured up when one hears her well-known last name. Vivian clarified that although she is the daughter of one of the richest men on the planet, she does not lead a lavish lifestyle and does not have easy access to exceptional wealth or a sizable trust fund. She emphasized that she has opted to forge her own path rather than rely on her father's wealth, characterizing her lifestyle as independent and modest. Speaking candidly about the myths that surround her, Vivian pointed out that many people assume she has access to hundreds of thousands of dollars only because of her father's name. She vehemently refuted this, claiming that her reality differs greatly from what others perceive and that she has no ambition to be extremely wealthy. She chose to live with 3 roommates in Los Angeles because she thought it was just more cost-effective and practical. She characterized her daily routine as typical, with the majority of her expenses going toward necessities like food, rent, and socializing. For her, having enough to feel safe and connected to those around her is more important than owning a fancy automobile or a penthouse. For Vivian, education is a top priority, although she acknowledged that it can be difficult to pay for tuition. Without her father's help, she disclosed intentions to return to college this fall with an emphasis on learning foreign languages. For her, obtaining a higher education is more about giving herself the skills to live freely and pursue her own goals than it is about gaining prestige. She also acknowledged the financial challenges that many students encounter, emphasizing that, like everyone her age, she must carefully consider money. Naturally, it would be impossible to tell Vivian's narrative without mentioning how distant she was from Elon Musk. She formally changed her name and gender back in 2022, stating that she wished to sever all connections with him. Since then, she has talked candidly about the strained relationship, calling her father aloof, narcissistic, and heartless. She's made it apparent that she has no place for him in her life by going so far as to label him juvenile and pitiful. In previous comments, she wanted her identity to represent the independence she is striving to maintain, so that decision was both practical and emotional. Vivian also discussed the difficulties her last name presents in public settings. She acknowledged that she occasionally feels insecure, and clarified that, in order to avoid unwanted attention, she disguises herself when she visits to places like gay bars. She claims that she has had to take extra precautions to preserve her privacy since strangers frequently send her unsettling or improper texts. This aspect of her life demonstrates how, despite a person's best efforts to avoid the limelight, fame can nevertheless cause stress and vulnerability. Vivian maintains her groundedness in spite of her lack of financial privilege and the significant personal burden of being associated with one of the most well-known billionaires in the world. She made the point that even though she is not rich, she still has enough to live comfortably. She enjoys spending time with friends, has a roof over her head, can buy food, and even has some disposable income to spend on herself. She emphasized that she appreciates these things much more than the notion of lavish wealth, and that this degree of comfort is more than sufficient for her. Vivian's remarks resonate because they defy the conventional wisdom. Her narrative dispels the myth that financial success is a given for those who are born into the Musk family. She has consciously chosen to live her life as she sees fit, even if it means living in humble quarters, keeping a close eye on her finances, and overcoming the same obstacles that many young people in Los Angeles face. In many respects, her candor serves as a welcome reminder that establishing a life of stability, independence, and authenticity, rather than focusing solely on wealth or prestige, is what truly brings happiness.